Hey everybody, welcome to this full walkthrough of the qualifying round of the Summer Shores tournament. It's been a while, so it's good to be back. I've had just a lot going on in my real life, so I haven't had enough time to create content, but I'm excited to be putting out this walkthrough for the QR of the Summer Shores tournament, where if you follow these shots, you can score minus 15 or even better with a couple of the tweaks that I'll suggest, as well as maybe not hitting great on a couple shots like I do. If you do find this content helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. That way you'll be first to know if I post new content, and share it with your friends so that we can help everybody succeed who wants to use free-to-play shots. Whether they want to use free-to-play shots all the time or just on a couple of holes, we don't care. We just want to create options for people to play the game with free-to-play balls. Let's jump into hole number one. Hole number one, we're going to start off with a Kingmaker. We have a no-move target, so we just, however your target opens up, that's what we're going to go with. 2.5 top spin, 2.5 right spin. So very simple setup for this first shot. We're going to go max plus 10% P4 numbers in your app. And then we go with max overpower and max right curl. All these shot notes are in the description of the video, so if you want to click on that, you can pull them up side by side and see exactly what the shot structure is, or you can listen in as I talk you through it. With our second shot here, we're going to have to estimate our distance, which we're fairly close to Min Sniper, and every ring of the Sniper is 2.5% slider. So we're going to estimate the distance. We want to be right on this edge between the rough and the fairway. The spins could vary a little bit here. Should be right around 3.5 back spins, somewhere in there. And then you're going to have your right spin to have the ball guide going through the hole. We're going to estimate our distance and then minus 20% elevation P2 numbers. So this shot was 20% slider, minus 20% elevation P2. And you're going to see this one comes in really close. Maybe a tiny bit of right curl. We could have curled it in there. All right, that's hole number one. For hole number two, you're going to want to find this spot at +8. So for each level of Apocalypse, it's going to be a little bit different, but you're going to look for the ball guide to tell you if you're in the right spot. We're going to go to 3.7 top spin and 1 right spin. We're going to adjust max plus 10% P4 numbers. You really need a perfect drive, to be honest here. You're going to see this is great left, and it barely makes it. You could even add a touch. You might need a touch of overpower depending on the wind if it pulls you into overpower. But that one was really close. So perfect is better. Great right can also be okay, but dangerous either way. It's a very tough drive. We're going to have to estimate our distance here. And this one is going to have variable spins as well. Somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3.5 to 4 back spin, 1.5 to 2 right spin. We're just trying to get the ball guide pointed at the left edge of the cup. So you might have to tweak those a little bit here to get it where you want it to be. And you want to give yourself a little bit of on that second bounce to be a little bit further away from the trap. And then we're going to adjust slider plus 25% elevation. This shot was 72% slider. I had to adjust in a hurry because I took so long with the spins. And so my adjustment was a little bit long, but should roll up there nice and close for you. Hole number 3, the only time we need a Kingslayer, and if you don't have one, you can try it with a Kingmaker and add some left curl, but it's much easier with a Kingslayer. At +3, we're going to go 1.8 back spin and 4 left spin to have the ball guide as shown. And then we're going to adjust max plus 15% and just the tiniest bit of right curl. Again, if you want to try with a Kingmaker, you can use a similar setup with the 3 left spin, and then you're going to need to add a little bit of left curl, but it's going to get tricky because you're going to adjust further down with more wind, which might require a little bit of overpower. So I'd recommend a Kingslayer if you have it. It's just a much easier shot. And I come up just a little bit short here. I over adjusted just a touch by like 0.2. So be careful in that adjustment. See if you can get it right and get that hole in one. Hole 4, another no movement target shot for our setup. So real easy to get started with. Max top spin, 1.2 right spin. It's easier to zoom in here a little bit further. And we're going to adjust max plus 10% P4 numbers. And then max overpower and check the right curl there, just to the outside of the ball target. Here we're going to have to estimate our distance. Again, if you get to either the max distance of sniper or the min, 2.5% per ring, spins might vary here in order to get the ball guide line the way we want it, because each little part of that rough's going to have a slightly different landing area, ball guide through the hole there. And then we're going to adjust slider minus 5%. So this shot I played at 60% slider, minus 5% elevation. And you're going to see one of your opportunities here is don't hit great left. And this one would have been much closer. May not have dropped with a perfect ball, but it would have been much closer. So hit perfect. Give yourself a chance. All right, hole number 5, probably my favorite shot of the round. To get a hole in one on a tough par 3 with just a Kingmaker is pretty awesome. So you're going to want to find this spot, and I'm going to zoom in here in a second. It's 2.5 backspin and 2 right spin. And you're going to want to make sure that your ball guide is just like it's shown here. So you'll find the target on that rough patch with the green ring where it's at, and then look for that ball guide to trickle well past the hole. We're going to adjust mid minus 15% and just the tiniest bit of right curl. And you're going to watch this one hit the top of the rough and trickle right down in for a hole in one. Maybe try it once with a practice token if you have extras. Hole number 6, my opponent played this shot against me in one of my practice tokens, so I tried to recreate it. Find this spot here. 7 top spin, 2 left spin. A blast shot is just too tempting to not try here. So max plus 10%, and then we're going to push it back up to max. And then we're going to move rings to the right in order to do a power hook. So for APOC 8, you're going to move 21 rings right. For Apocalypse 7, it's going to be 19. And for Apocalypse 6, it's like 16 or 16 and a half, somewhere in there. And then we're going to go full left curl, full overpower, and then a full hook release. Now you'll notice I still miss here, which is fine. It gives us a nice chance with the rough iron. If you do stay up in the fairway, it should leave you just a little over a min thorn plus 20% elevation. I did not stay in the fairway, so I'm going to play rough iron school minus 40%. So I'm just going to estimate just like the Endbringer school. So this is going to be a 60% shot. Now, normally with rough iron school or Endbringer school, you don't use spin, but here I'm using spin with the rough iron school method. So it's 60% slider, minus 40% elevation, and then you'll see I'm just going to add backspin to kind of check that bounce to get me right up to the cup. So again, rough iron school method, minus 40% elevation, and then add spins as needed so that you can have the ball guideline check right short of the hole. Again, hit perfect, which I didn't do, and this one would have been really close. Hole number 7, just find this spot. You can use the blue ring as a reference with your Thor's Hammer 8, 6.2 backspin, 3 left spin. If you have Thor's Hammer 7, you can still do this. You're just going to have to push up into overpower to find that landing position, and then it's going to mean you're going to have more overpower on the shot. So we're going to adjust max minus 5% and use any overpower that you pull into. And remember, if you're using Thor's Hammer 7, you're going to have to add the extra rings of overpower that you needed at the start to push in. This, we're just looking for a safe birdie here. If you want to add a little bit of left curl, you can try just to try to take a run at the cup, but really just take your birdie and run on this hole. Hole number 8, find this spot here at plus 17 yards. We're going to go max top spin and 0.2 right spin. We're going to adjust max plus 10% P4 numbers. And then we're going to give max overpower to this. You could actually play this shot with a Kingmaker. I like to play with a Luminary here because it gives me the slow needle. But you could do this with a Kingmaker as well if you'd like. Second shot, we're going to go to our Thorn, and we're going to have to estimate our distance. We're going to use max backspin, and the key thing here is to look for that ball guide line offset of the hole. So you'll notice, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, it's about almost a full cup right of the hole. And then we've estimated our distance plus 30% elevation. This shot was 84% slider plus 30% elevation. You need that extra offset there because you're going to get a massive secondary wind push using a wind 3 ball here. And you'll see this one roll back perfectly into the cup for an eagle. Hole 9, we end on a really tough hole. We're going to find this spot at plus 13 with max top spin and 2 right spin. You'll see the ball guide go through the rough onto that fairway patch. From here, we're going to adjust max plus 10% P4 numbers. And then you're going to want to check the overpower and check the curl on this shot. Great left, great right, should be fine either way. Now we want to find this spot here with our red ring touching the edge of the rough. And then we're going to use max backspin, and then you'll notice here it's like the max left spin I can get out of it. So it's going to end up being like 2.6, I think, left spin, like 7.6 backspin. And then we're going to adjust our slider plus 5% elevation. This shot was 92% slider, and then max left curl. And then you can watch this heartbreak with me. So I hit a great right, which means I probably need a touch less left spin so that it would work. Anyway, best of luck, everybody. It's great to be back with you all. Hope these shots help you guys have a successful qualifying round. And if you want to join our free-to-play clan, scan that QR code And we welcome anybody who's wanting to grow, get better at the game, and play, Masters tournaments with free-to-play balls. Thanks again, everybody. Don't forget to like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this content with your friends so we can all keep getting better. Good luck. See ya.